Alright, so hopefully you can see this okay, but right now, pretend that this piece is your motor. This is the way that yours is set up pretty much right now. It's got the shaft that comes out of it with this little sleeve on here, and it sits on a bracket that goes, and then the drive shaft goes through another bracket and into the motor, right? So the way that you're going to solve this is you're going to take your 2x4 that I told you to get. I'm going to pretend that this is your 2x4. Pretend that it's only this long. Alright, so it's only the 1 foot that I told you to get. Now this support that's drilled out right here is where your PVC is going to fit down into. You're going to have to cut it to where it's big enough to where the PVC fits right in there. Okay? So then that's going to sit like this, more or less. Like this. Alright? Now, your PVC, I told you to get an end cap like this one. And the way that this is going to attach to your motor, your drive shaft, is you're going to take a handheld torch like this one. You're going to turn it on. And take off your sleeve. You're going to heat up the end of your drive shaft just like so. You shut it off. You're going to take your end cap. You're going to find the center of your end cap. There's a little knot in there. You're going to place this drive shaft right there and let it melt through. You might have to reheat it and remelt through it multiple times to be able to get it to go all the way through. Like here. It's probably going to have to be reheated again. It's starting to come through, if you can see it there. See? It's coming through. End of the PVC. There we go. Now that it's on there, you're going to let it cool down before you do anything else. You want this to get a really tight fit around the end of that cap. That's what you're going to use to rotate it with. Alright, and then you're going to take your PVC that I told you to get. You're going to slide it through. It's going to fit on here just like so. Now, put back on this piece. Just like this. And put it back on here and you attach it to your motor. And now with your support bracket, you're going to want it further out, probably right around here, to where you have enough room to where you can put your cup on here and everything. And you're going to want to make sure to measure this out to not cut it too deep to make so then your football's not sitting on an angle like so. That'll make your whole cup sit on an angle. You want to make sure that it's level with the drive shaft that goes into your motor. You want to make sure this all stays level. So you're going to have to measure from your plate up to your drive shaft, figure out how high that is, And then you're going to have to measure from the plate to the lowest point in your cutout support that you have, where the lowest point of your PVC sits. So then it all sits perfectly level. I even put a level on top of mine to make sure that it sits right. And if it doesn't sit right, you can always shim this support up or cut it down to make it sit perfectly level. Hopefully that kind of explains it. That'll keep this from flexing, and the fact that you melted the drive shaft to the end of the PVC pipe will make it to where it'll rotate the whole PVC rather than the drive shaft inside of the PVC pipe. The PVC pipe is rigid enough to where it won't bend, and it's big enough around to where when you put a foam football, this foam football is just from the Dollar Tree, and you cut the very tip off of it, and then you shove the PVC pipe into the foam football and zip tie it down. That holds it all in place so it doesn't come off when you take off your cup. So that pretty much explains it, and if you have any other questions, feel free to text me and ask.